Hey, how you doing, guys? Jeff Hansen here, and as y'all know, we always messing with this camera stuff. We doing that stuff, right? But how you doing? I'm really checking my monitors, and it doesn't look like okay. I think it's coming on now, but it should already be playing. I'm just gonna make sure. Right. Okay, there we go. Hey, how you doing, guys? Jeff Hansen here, and we have a really exciting show today. Uh, I was running and I was rushing, ripping and running and racing and running and doing all this kind of stuff. And one of the things I really think is fascinating is just how I'm growing, how I'm becoming better at what I'm doing and things of that nature. But today we got a very exciting show. Now, to you that are here for the first time, I want to say that welcome to TBYE. The reason why you see the green screen behind me is because what I do is I repurpose some of the content and I put a background, a different background. So while you guys are seeing green, of course, when I repurpose the content, it will be a moving film or something of a city or a sky or something behind it, okay? My name is Jeff Hansen, AKA the Silver Fox. And what we do here at TBYE, the best you ever, we share tips and strategies with you to help you become, tips and strategies to help you become, to go from you 1.0 to you 2.0. Hold on one sec, please. Yeah. Tips to help you go from 1.0 to 2.0. Now, tonight's show will be a little bit different. And when I say a little bit different, I mean because of the particular content. It's interesting. I'm going to share some of the challenges that I've had going from where I was to where I am now. And any questions or comments, all you got to do is post them. Now, StreamYard will actually permission to put your name, attach your name to your comment. So you hit that button and it'll allow you to comment, and I'll see your comments and I can answer you live. Okay, so let's talk about the challenges of going from you 1.0 to you 2.0. Okay, well, the first challenge I'll tell you right up front is that it's new and it's unknown. You don't know what you 2.0 is going to look like. You don't know what you 2.0 is going to cost you, because it's going to cost you something. All you know is that it's where you want to go, right? So as you indicate, like even with your vision, you start setting up the things you want, right? The things you want in your life, the things you want manifested in your life, the type of life you want to live, the type of person you want to be with, the type of money you want to make, the type of places you want to travel to. Well, you start putting those things up. Now, here's the first challenge. The first challenge is understanding that these pictures are going to change. Understanding that you're going to grow and these pictures are going to change. Now, not only are they going to change, they're going to cause a state of a degree of irritation in your world. It is on, do you know that it is the irritation of a piece of rock, a grain of sand in a what they call them, the things with the shell, the fish with the shell, clams. It is the irritation of a grain of sand in the clam that causes it to release chemicals that change the sand into a pearl. And so it is irritation that's going to caused me to go from me 1.0 to me 1.5, 1.7, 1.9, me 2.0. The irritation comes from the understanding that where I am, I don't want to be here. I want to go to another level. And when you say When I said I want to go to another level, what I was really saying was, this is irritating me. And especially when you start putting up vision boards. Because now I'm seeing something that I want. I'm seeing something that I really, really, really want, and I don't have it yet. And then I start to understand that it's going to stay in my face until I get it. So it starts me to thinking different. It starts me to kind of focusing on different things, not wasting a lot of time, trying to waste less time, trying to save more money, or whatever the particular thing is I want to do. Or I start to understand that I have to grow as an individual. I now have to look at my life and say, the past Jeff 1.0 is dead. Let's birth into 2.0. And usually it doesn't just jump to 2.0. It goes from 1.0 to 1.05, in my case, 1.10, and so the first challenge is understanding the you that you are right now has to become better in order, or has to become different than what you are today. Now, I'm going to tell you, you're going to get challenges from your family. That's a big one, because we know they love us. You're going to get challenges from your friends. You may be called a sellout. You may be called haughty, arrogant, full of yourself. But those things are normal. And I'm going to tell you something. Sometimes we are so attached to the person that we were that our biggest challenge is releasing that person and becoming who we were meant to be. I heard one of my mentors, her name's Lisa Nichols, and she said this. She was telling the story of being so poor that she didn't have Pampers for her son, Jelani. And so for 2 days, she wrapped him in a blanket. And she looked at her son and she said, I promise you, Jelani, this is the most broke. She said, your mommy will never be this broke or broken again. And she said, and it was that day that she reached her version of rock bottom. She was willing to give up everything she had, everything she was, everything she remembered, and to take on it, to die to that person so that she can be reborn in the person that she wanted to be, to live the life that she wants to live. See, you have to grow if you want your life to grow. Your life is an outcropping of the inner you. So you have an inner world that you have created with your thoughts, your imagination, your imagination, your image nation. You've put nations of images, and that inner world has to manifest in your outer world. This is why I tell people all the time, I share with people that you are a co-creator with God. And let me remind you that, because I said this before, I did not say you was equal with God. What I said was you are a co-creator with God, meaning God creates the territory. What you do with that territory is your business. That's why your life is different from someone else's life, and someone else's life is different from this life, because you have a choice. See, a lot of times I was trying to change the things on the outside of me instead of changing the things on the inside of me. See, the things on the outside of me is a result of something. It's a result of my choices, a result of my ideologies, a result of my beliefs. So if I want to change those things, I have to change who I am. I have to change things on the inside of me. I have to get behind the program. I have to get behind the matrix and start making some changes that's really going to make an astounding change in my life. By the time your family sees it, or by the time your wife or your husband or your children sees it, trust me, that change has already happened on the inside. Someone said, the only way you create something in the outer world is that it's already created on the inner world. Because the inner world is what's going to power those new choices, it's going to power those new beliefs, it's going to power those new actions. And if you don't change those things, you have no power. That's why people struggle with, let's take a thing I know a little bit about, is weight loss and working out. Do you know why people fight to stay consistent and all of those kind of things? Because they never address the inner world. So they're trying to do something cosmetically. Just change, I just want a little muscle here, I want something here. That's why surgery doesn't work. Usually people go back and gain the weight again. Because on the inside, they're still big if they wanted to lose weight. I embodied the whole idea that I was a big guy. I did. And that's why I'm comfortable with 210 and 213 and 212. I used to be comfortable with 171. And I saw myself as a little guy. And even when I was lifting weights, because my inner world did not come in, was not in congruence with my outer world had to conform. So I would gain weight and lose weight, gain weight and lose weight, gain muscle, lose muscle. Because even the Bible says, a house divided against itself cannot stand. When you line up your inner world with the world you want to live, you want the world you want to live in, what will happen is your outer world has to conform. It is impossible for your outer world to consistently show something that's not on the inside of you. I was talking to a friend of mine, that's funny, I was talking to a friend of mine today, and she was talking about this argument, this big confusion she got, got into on her job. And she had never showed me that side of her before. And as I was talking to her, I realized, I said, oh, I knew she had a rough side. I never saw it before. Because those things that's on the inside will manifest on the outside. You ever heard somebody say something to you, say, oh, I slipped. No, they didn't slip. Because out of the abundance of the heart, and I'm not talking about the heart, the organ, I'm talking about the heart of the mind, where out flows the issues of life. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. So, when you are changing that inner world, because the inner world responds to images, and then you start professing those things verbally, because your words are focusing devices. If I say rhinoceros, you think rhinoceros. See? So you use your words as a focusing tool for the power of your inner world. And the way you manifest it, what I tell you, always get a picture, right? I tell you, write it down, because that is the first act of creation, which takes the inner world and brings it into the outer world. Repetition, what repetition does, it's like the nail in the hammer. See, the pictures, you just put the nail in the wood, on the wood, and you see it. But when you start driving that nail, repetition, it drives those desires deep down. And the stronger the desire for it, the stronger your commitment will be for it. The more sacrifices you'll make for it. See, this is why repetition works. This is why vision boards work. The power of repetition. And think about it in the good and the bad. Think about if you're constantly listening to violent lyrics on records or watching horror shows. You keep listening to that, keep listening to that, keep listening to that. What are you forming on the inner world? Because it will manifest in the outer world. Because you are a co-creator. And when we accept our responsibilities as co-creators, we'll realize how powerful meditation is and prayer is, and we have to be more careful and cognizant of how we pray and how we meditate. That's one of the big challenges, is understanding your inner world is your responsibility, because it will manifest itself in your outer world. Another challenge I went through, which was crazy, was you can't go back. This is a big one. And what I mean by that is, I don't mean you can't go back and do those things, but you're not going to be able to do them the same way. If you really was going to that next level, you can't go back, because the mind, once stretched and extended, by an idea, concept, or thought never goes back to its original dimensions. So you can't go back. I remember I went back. There was something I was enjoying doing. And then I'm just programming myself and I'm growing and I'm enjoying life and this, that, and the other. So now I saw it again and I said, yo, let me go back. Man, that was the most horrible thing I ever went back to, man. Wasted my time and it was just terrible. Because you can't go back. You're not that person anymore. They died and you've been reborn into the next level you, the next level of what you want, the next level of your life. 100%. Like, it's almost like leaving a girl for a certain reason or leaving a guy for a certain reason, getting out of the relationship. And then after a while, you forget the reason why you left. And you say, you know what? Now you done grown and did some other things. Then you go back. And you're like, what the? You know, in the beginning, it's like, oh yeah, I'm back. After a minute, you're like, yeah, you know what? I remember why I left. Now, you know what's crazy about this video? I'm wearing a very dark blue, navy blue shirt. I am so hoping that the green screen doesn't mesh with it, because then I'm not gonna be able to check the color of the screen. But anyway, so that's another challenge. It's understanding the you that you were. You're not that person anymore. So there's certain conversations you're not gonna enjoy anymore. There's certain movies you're not gonna watch. There's certain things you're just not gonna do anymore because you're a different person. When you change that inner world, you are now a different person. If you struggle with changing your inner world, it's because you're struggling because you don't want to let go. You don't want to die to the previous regime, basically. Another challenge. It's going to cost you money. I don't know how to say it any other way. It's going to cost you some moolah. Like, I'll be honest with you, that green screen that you see, that cost me. The app that I'm using in my live videos, that cost me. You don't see the lights, but I'm telling you, there's two bright lights next to the camera. That cost me. The tripod, that cost me. And these are things I would never have bought before. The new camera, oh my God, $450, that cost me. $500, that cost me. The mic, that cost me. It's going to cost you something, and I'm going to tell you something. The price, if you put skin in the game, and that's sacrifice and money in the game, time and money. If you put that in the game, it's going to empower you to push harder. It's going to empower you to push through the obstacles and push through the adversity and push through the things that you struggle with. It's going to push you in your beliefs. It's going to stretch you in that area. Now, your ideas of what you could do, there's going to be things that you tried before and you weren't able to accomplish it. You should go back and try them things again, because you're not the same person. You're a different type of person. I remember when I went into the Marine Corps, the first thing they did, they shaved our heads. Then they gave us numbers and, unit 369, platoon 2069, and my laundry number was 37. Laundry number 37, that's what they called me, or giggles. When I came home, I gained 20 pounds of muscle. I went in, I was 151 pounds. When I came out, I was 172 pounds muscle. After that 4-month experience in boot camp, Marine Corps boot camp, I was never the same. I could never go back to the same Jeff. That scary guy that was get bullied and whatever, I wasn't that guy anymore. I was a United States Marine. I was one of the few, the proud, the Marines. You ain't bullying me no more. So things change. And once you really, really, really commit to something and you die, Tony Robbins said that the word commitment, from a Greek word or Hebrew, a Greek word, and a Latin word, that means to cut off from, meaning there's no going back. Real commitment, it's like when you take that step off the plane and you skydive. Oh, you going off the plane now. It's no going backward. You gotta understand that when you go after something, it's going to change you. And there is no going back. Last but not least, one of the challenges is friends. Some of your friends can't go. Where you want to go, some of your friends can't go. Especially when you're trying to walk into your destiny. Some of your closest friends can't go. And the challenge you're going to have is letting them go. Because your destiny, your wealthy place, the reason you were created is worth it. And it's not that you can't be friends. It's just that the context of your relationship with them is going to change. It's amazing, but it's true. Painful, but it's true. Some family members can't go. Sometimes it's going to challenge your relationship. And some relationships can't go. Now, I've been here running my mouth about the challenges of going from 1.0, you 1.0, to you 2.0. Have any questions? Just put it in the comments so I can answer them live. But if not, if you see the video and at another time, another place, another time, just put the questions in the video in the comment box, and I promise you I will answer it. I will get you an answer to your satisfaction. Okay? Any questions at all? If there's no questions, I will say that, well, this is Jeff Hansen with TBYE, the best you ever, where we give you tips and strategies on helping you become you 2.0, going from you 1.0 to you 2.0. Because we understand that if we give tips and strategies to help you become the best you ever, you will build your best life ever. Jeff Hansen, aka the Silver Fox, saying peace, and remember, do your best. Because when you do your best, you are being the best version of yourself. God bless you, and may heaven smile upon you. Ah, 22 minutes. Cut. Live. Why is it still moving? Oh, wait. End broadcast.